Alright YouTube, so it's Saturday. I'm over here at the house. I'm working on the 97. I had it backed in and it's still leaking trans fluid. It's leaking out of that damn cooler line right down there. I mean, you can kind of see it down there, but yeah, it's leaking out of that where the metal meets the rubber right down here. And it's just coming apart. So I brought those two brand new cooler lines off of the 07. So I'm going to swap those out. And at the same time, I'm also doing an oil change. So I've got the oil and filter and the fluid and everything in the car. So this is my new jack that I got from my family member for doing his front end stuff. It's not brand spanking new, but it's a good jack. It holds the car up as I'm jacking. It doesn't leak anything. Car doesn't go back down. And then these are the little cheapo jack stands, but they worked. So I've got my good set in the trunk. I'm going to end up using these AC Delcos. So yeah, I'm just gonna get this thing thrown on some jack stands, and then that way I can drain this oil and swap out these cooler lines and go from there. So yeah, y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated as soon as I get under the car ready to do this oil change. Alright y'all, so I got this thing on jack stands and I got my drain pan under here and the impact in my socket. So now I'm gonna pull this drain plug, let this thing drain of its oil, pull the filter, get the new filter on, all that good stuff. And then after I do the oil change, then I'm gonna work on these tranny cooler lines. You can see how gunked up they are. But yeah, I'm just gonna undo the whole fitting and screw the whole new fittings on because I know they don't leak. So that's how this is gonna go. So I'm going to do this oil change and then I'm going to start on these tranny cooler lines. So stay tuned. Alright y'all. So I got the oil draining. It's about done draining. And I got my filter pliers so I can pull the filter off. Once I get the drain plug back in. Got the drain plug all nice and cleaned up. So I am going to put just a little bit of a RTV around there before I put it back in. It's just how I do it. Help keep it from dripping. And then once I get the oil change done, I'll do them, start on getting them old cooler lines out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this oil change done and I'll come back to you guys. Alright YouTube, so I've got the oil change is done. I've got it topped off with oil. I haven't started it yet because it's still on jack stands. I got the cooler lines out and got them all ready to go. Got my wrench. These are the fittings that go into the radiator. So my problem I'm having now is if you can see the fitting right there, it is a screw-in style fitting, and then it screws in instead of it having the end of the line, and this would screw into the radiator, and then that way the line can just pop in and it has a clip that goes in there. Well, on these lines it doesn't have that at all, and the threads on that are way smaller than the threads on this. So I'm pretty sure that these lines are not going to work, so that kind of sucks. And then even if they did have the same style fitting, see how this line is like pretty straight coming all the way up, and if you look at this one, it comes up straight at an angle and then has a huge loop right here, kind of loops back and does like a U-turn and then goes into the fitting. So even if this would run up here and everything. I think this line would end up hitting the fans, where the fan bolts on, and I'm pretty sure that these fittings aren't going to screw into that radiator. So I guess right now I'm just kind of fucking shit out of luck on the cooler lines, because I don't have the money to go buy brand new ones again. And I don't have another radiator just laying around. So I'm not really quite sure what to do just yet. So I guess I'm going to put these cooler lines back up, because I'm not going to be able to use them for this. And I don't know, maybe I'll do this alternator and this bracket and those coolant elbows. I didn't bring the rear exhaust manifold, which that kind of sucks. And I did bring this other rack and pinion. This is the old one off the 07. And the old power steering pump off the 07. And so I was debating on just cleaning this pump up and using this pump for the 97. Because this one's just whining like a motherfucker. And I've got all new lines. I know these are pretty dirty lines, but they weren't leaking, so like I wasn't having any issues on the 07. The only issue I was having was the steering was super loose, and I'm pretty sure it was the that linkage that slides on here and then goes up to the bottom of the steering column. So, but yeah, I can probably use these lines and just take these lines and put them onto this. As long as it has the same style lines going to the rack, which I haven't really got down there and looked at it. It looks pretty damn similar to that though. It looks identical to that, so I don't know. I just know this rack has some issues, and it's got some pretty bad power steering leaks, like everywhere. I know that boot's come off, and I need to get that boot put back together, but it's still got some really loose steering in the wheel, and again, that could be that linkage over there on this one as well. But I don't know. So I'm not 100% for sure what I'm going to do yet. I know I'm going to pick this stuff up and get this thing down off jack stands. I don't even know if I want to take it off jack stands. I don't know. I'm going to get this stuff put up and then figure out what I'm going to do next, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, y'all. So I've got the cooler lines put up, and I got the drill solid rotors out of the back seat, back floorboard. So these are actually Grand Am rotors off the parts car Grand Am, and I thought my shake was coming from these. I thought they were warped, so I put these on, and these are way skinnier than these, as you can tell. There's a lot missing, and so because of that, then I don't have as much of a pedal. So these pads are pretty new. I just put them on like a month ago, so there's still a lot of meat on them. So I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just swap out the front rotors and just compress the piston in a little bit to fit over with it being wider, and go that route. So that's what I'm end up doing right now, is I'm gonna swap these front rotors around, and then I might, after I get that done, I might try to get this boot put back on the steering rack. So once I do the other side. So yeah, y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna get these rotors off and give you guys another update. Alright, y'all, so I just got the two caliper bolts out. There's just two 15s. I did put a couple of lug nuts back on here just to hold the rotor in place. So now I'm pulling the pads outside, inside. The pads still look great. still lots of life left on those. Like I said, they're not very old. So now I'm going to pull these two little slider brackets for the pads. There we go, there's those, so I can clean those up. Now I just got to get these two for the caliper bracket, two more 15s, and this bracket will come off, and I can undo these lug nuts, pull the rotor off, get that one on, and just reverse it. I already did the other side, I didn't even film it, but what I did was as I took everything off, I just wiped it all down and cleaned it up, just to kind of clean up the red. And then I just wiped down the caliper brackets and got all that brake dust off of there, cleaned it up, both of them pretty good, made them all nice and shiny and chrome again. So now I just got to get this caliper bracket off, these two 15s, and I can wipe everything down and get it all cleaned up, swap this rotor out and throw it back together. And I'm also going to have to compress the piston and the caliper, and I have this little compressor tool, so whenever I get there, I'll show you guys how to use this tool. And it's a nice little tool, it's like 20 bucks at Harbor Freight. Not bad at all. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff swapped out, and then I'll give you guys another update whenever I'm about to compress the piston and the caliper. Alright y'all, so I've already got the rotor swapped around, got the bracket off, I'm about to wipe it down and start cleaning it up. And I gotta wipe the caliper down and clean it up, and then compress it. So really, both of the Grand Am rotors I had on there, they're still actually pretty nice. I mean, this one's got a little bit of wear in it right there, but not very much. And I mean, this one, both sides are super smooth. So these are still good rotors. They're just not as thick as the actual Grand Prix ones. But I'll still save them for just in case, if my mom needs them for hers, or hell, my neighbor, she's got a Malibu that they're the exact same rotors also. So I don't know, I guess I'll just keep them as backups in case I have an issue with one or something. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing wiped down and cleaned up, and get this caliper wiped down, and then I'll compress the caliper and get this thing back together. So y'all stay tuned. I've got the bracket all wiped down. I got these little brackets all cleaned up, got the pads back in there. I still need to wipe down and just clean up the caliper, but I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how to use this tool. So pretty much, this one's 0, and it just slides right over the end of the piston. And nope, need a little more room. There we go. Alright, then you just line those up, and it's magnetic, so it'll stick in there. And then you back this off. Kind of keep that even until it tightens up. Then once it's tight, you just use your wrench and turn it. And as you keep turning this, it compresses the caliper. This thing works really good. It's super easy, and it's only like 20 or 25 bucks at Harbor Freight. And you can use it on multiple vehicles. And then once you get it compressed, you just back it off. It pops out, and boom, it's compressed. And then there's multiple different pieces for whatever size caliper piston there is. And it's just magnetizes on, goes right in place. And you just slide this down, and that goes there. And slide that down some to make it fit. Boom, there we go, just like that. That's the kit. And it's that easy. Now all I gotta do is just wipe this caliper down, get her stuck back on there, and it's good to go. So I'm gonna get this done back together, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright, y'all, we got it back together. So now I just gotta get the other wheel back on. I might leave it off so I can fuck with this tie rod boot. Haven't quite made up my mind yet, but let me figure out what I'm gonna get done next, and I'll give you guys another update. Hey YouTube, alright, so it's the next day, it's Sunday. It got dark on me last night, but so I did end up getting the boot put back on this side, that inner tie rod boot. I don't know if I'll really be able to see it very well, but I got it back on. I had to break the clamp that goes right there to get it off, and I just had to put a zip tie on the inner part. But I did drive it around. It seemed to drive pretty good. It looks like it's still leaking quite a bit of fluid and shit. Oh yeah, there's a lot of fluid. But and I got it back together. So today I'm gonna end up going over to my storage and getting some stuff done over there whenever my girl leaves to go to work. So I guess I'll meet you guys over at my storage here in the next couple hours. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll give you guys another update. Hey YouTube, so I just got over here to my storage. I went by the car wash and I washed the 97. Got her all nice and cleaned up. Got all that salt and road debris off of it. And then while I was over there, I went ahead and power washed up this rack and pinion and the pump and the lines. Got it pretty cleaned up. It's not the greatest, but it's decent. I just wanted to spray it so it wasn't all grimy, so I can move it around in here until I decide what I'm going to do with this thing. But so I've got to get the 4 jack stands out of the trunk. I'm going to move the subframe back out here and get it set back on jack stands. While I was working on the 97 yesterday, I realized, so the sway bar, this points down, and on the new one I put it on upside down. I put it on to where it goes up. So I've got to pull the sway bar back off and flip it upside down. So I've got to do that today. And I've got some stuff I need to get done. Really, I need to get a lot done. I need to get some stuff done on the Grand Am. But I want to pull some of this stuff out. I want to get the subframe out. I want to flip that sway bar around for sure so it's right. And I could probably throw the rotors back on. I got a brand new set of brake pads I ordered the other day. They're supposed to be delivered today. And then supposed to have one of the power steering lines is getting delivered tomorrow. And then the other power steering line is getting delivered on Wednesday. So I'll have both brand new power steering lines to hook up to the rack. So that way everything's brand new. And then after that, it's just going to be getting the engine bolted up to the trans. I do need to get some stuff done on the trans also, so I can get it ready to go ahead and marry up to the engine. And I need to get the engine off the stand so I can put the flex plate on, but I don't want to do that until the transmission's ready to bolt up. So I've still got a little bit to go, but I mean, if I can get this engine off the stand and get it married up to the trans and get it set in place on the subframe, I can just have the subframe sit in here and I'd have enough room. And then that way everything will just be ready to go, and then once everything's completely done and finalized, it can go in. I do still want to get all that cleaned up in the engine bay also. And I still don't know what I'm going to do about that because I don't have another subframe to throw back in here. And now that this one's all cleaned up, I don't really want to just throw it back in here and get dirt and grime all over all the brand new stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to do today yet, but I've got the whole day to myself over here. So I am probably going to pull that battery and throw it on the charger just so it can charge while I'm over here today for the next 6 or 7 hours, just because it's been sitting out here and it's been really cold. So I'll probably let that go ahead and charge up, and I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way and get this shit out of the trunk and swap this sway bar around and figure out something else to do from there. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, so I've got the subframe out. I got it set on all 4 jack stands, and I've already undid and swapped around the sway bar. And you got just this little hump down right here was humped up. And whenever I was looking yesterday on the 97, when I had it jacked up, it might be kind of hard to see, but you can see right there how close that sway bar is to the exhaust, and it's pointed down. So if it was pointed up, it would definitely be hitting the exhaust. So yeah, that's why I definitely had to swap that around. But so I've got that swapped around, so now whenever it goes back in, I'll know 100% that it's going to be good and it's going to clear. So the next thing I've got to do is also yesterday, I didn't record any of it, but I was doing the AEM fuel pump in the new assembly before I did the oil change or anything. And so I ran into an issue with it, and it was more or less with the new assembly than anything. So I have the new pump here. It already has the AEM pump in there because, like I said, I was already working on it. I already got it swapped around. And the only issue that I had was whenever I bought this new assembly, I bought it on eBay. Okay. So I bought this on eBay, and whenever I bought this, it says it's for the 04 to 08 Grand Prix. So the original pump that came with it is in the AEM box, but it has this extra port on it right here. And see, it has the hole there. So the new pump, it just has the hole. And in the instructions for the AEM pump, it says do not block that hole. So I was trying to figure out, what is this? And it goes to this, which looks like it's on this fuel pressure regulator inside the pump. And like that right there goes up here to the feed that goes out to the car. So I don't really know what to do with this. So I took some pictures and I made a post on Facebook, and a couple of guys, including Terrell, he said just to pull this pin and just plug it and it will be fine. And so I'm gonna end up doing that, and I'm trusting Terrell because he's never gave me bad info, and I trust him 100%. And he's given me a lot of guidance and a lot of pointers over the last couple of years since I really got into the 3800s, and since I did the very first engine build for this. It was, I sent him messages off after I seen his YouTube videos. I was like, look, I've got the Series 2 block. It's going in an 07 Prix. I'm doing this and this. And he said, yeah, man, it'll work. No issues at all. He said the Series 2 and Series 3 are pretty much exactly the same, except for the Series 3 engines have better, stronger internal parts. But he said it should hold up no problem. So I did. I built the engine, and it lasted for like 9 months. It did great. If it wasn't for the lifter, it would still be running and dry. I'd still be driving it. I probably wouldn't even have known that it wasn't actually the XPZ cam. But you know what? Shit happens. And I have another engine now. It's now a Series 3 engine NA. So it's going to be the exact same build. NA, top swap. with the actual XPZ cam this time. But now I have better headers. I have actual ZZP stuff, not some cheap eBay shit that has issues. And so yeah, so that's what I'm end up doing. I'm end up pulling this little pin out and plugging that, and I have to get a hose, because this is the one that they sent, ZZP sent with the thing, and it's just not long enough. As you can see, this is what was on there, and it was like a heat shrinked on there, and I had to cut it on both sides to get them to come off. So I just need to get a regular fuel hose that's will bend and be this length, so I can connect those just like that. And then I just have to pull that little pin and plug that to where it won't leak. So I don't know what I'm gonna use to plug that. I don't know if I'm gonna use like epoxy or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna figure out something to plug that with, and hopefully I don't have any issues. And if I do have issues, once the engine and everything's back in the car and I go to start it, if the fuel pump doesn't work because of I did something wrong, then I'll just pull this back out and pull the AEM pump out of this assembly, and I'll just put it into the factory assembly. So I'm gonna send it for now and just try to plug that. And as long as I can plug that and I don't have any issues, then it should be good. But if later on down the line, if I start having fuel issues, I'm definitely going to be swapping that into a different assembly. I do also have 2 other factory fuel pumps out of 2 other cars. Shit, I might have sold one, but I know for sure that I have at least one more. It might be over in the Grand Am storage, but I have for sure one more, if not 2 more. And so yeah, I don't know, I might even just end up pulling this and swapping it into one of those. Excuse me. And I might just pull this out and swap it into one of those and just use some of these newer parts, but I don't know yet. But yeah, and I did on this, I ordered some new outer tie rods, and I ordered a few other things for it. So hopefully, like right now I'm just waiting for other stuff to come in. I'm waiting for the lines and the brake pads. Like, I'm just waiting for stuff. And then this is a little heat shield. I forgot to try to power wash it and clean it up, but this right here was wrapped around the original rack that was on here, and it's just a heat shield for the exhaust right there. So I need to get that back on there, and it just snaps together. And yeah, so then right now, like I said, I'm just waiting for parts to come in. So I'm just trying to do what I can to kind of get stuff done. Then I do need to unbolt the downpipe and put a gasket in there, because I did finally get the gaskets. And I need to get this transmission up in the air, and I kind of want to pull the side cover off so I can go ahead and finish up the Transgo shift kit. But I still don't have a gasket for it. I know, I'm just kind of lost. Like, I've got a lot of stuff that needs to get done on this thing, and I'm just, yeah, nothing's really lined up. I don't have every single thing that I need. I mean, I have some fluids, like I have some stuff. I don't know, I'm just not making the money like that to be able just to have everything ready to go. But I'm doing what I can, you guys, so I guess y'all stay tuned, and I'm going to pick this up and put it back in the box since I've done explained that, because I've still got to drop the tank, and really I want to cut out the little panel, because I have it right there, and that's the little cover that normally goes in the trunk for the easy access panel for the fuel pump. And this car doesn't have it, but once I drop the tank out, I want to use my grinder, and I'm going to cut it out, and then I'll just use some tap screws or something to screw it down. So that's going to be the plan for that. It's for another video. But yeah, so right now I'm just going to get all this stuff picked up and move this engine out. Probably have to scoot that over and probably get this transmission lifted up, and I'm probably going to do some stuff on this transmission. So just stay tuned, and I'll give you guys another update soon. Alright, you guys, so what I decided to do for now is I got a lot of this stuff over here cleared out. I just put the rotors and stuff back on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clearance this bracket to fit around the intercooler. Since I've had these for like a couple weeks now and I still haven't been able to get them bolted on. And I want to see what the engine's going to look like with them on. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I've already grabbed the grinder. It's already over there plugged in. So now I just got to grab these rails. I'm going to take this one over there and I'm going to start clearancing this bracket and come back and test fit it and then kind of go back and forth until I get this thing to fit. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright you guys, so I've got the first clearance on the bracket done. So it's almost on there, but it's still hitting the intercooler right there. I've got a pretty good chunk of it clearance down. I guess I just need to bring down this this hump right here in the middle. Ooh, that's hot. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna go back over there and try to clearance that down just a little bit more right there, and come test fit it again. So y'all stay tuned. All right, well, there's the second. It's fitting a lot better. I've got the injectors are starting to go up in the holes, but it's still hitting right in there. So I have to clearance it out a little bit more. But man, it's coming along. It's going pretty good. So I'm going to go over here and I guess go over this another time. See if I can't get that knocked down just a little bit more. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright you guys, so that was it. Got just enough clearance on that bracket and she's bolted down. Injectors are seated. I'm happy with that. So now I just have to find a block off and a cap for this end, just so I can cap this end off. And then now I just got to get these fittings off of this one, at least this fitting, and I'll have to find an end cap for this one also. And then I don't know if I'm going to keep this one on there, or if I'm going to, maybe if I take this one off, I can put it on over here. And that way it's just both of them on the end and have both these ends capped off. And then I've also got that Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator come in, so this one's going to come back off. Because I'm going to use the Aeromotive because it looks brand spanking new. And the gauge on it looks really nice. So I'm definitely going to be going with the Aeromotive. It'll match the rails. I'm stoked on that. Can't believe dude gave me the hookup on it. 80 shipped, or 85 shipped. So I'm happy with it. Like I said, I'm still waiting for that to come in also. But yeah, this one's definitely coming off. But man, I got the front one mounted. So can't be more stoked on that. It's looking good with the red. So now I've got to start working on this rear one and try to get this fitting off and then try to make sure that this one will bolt down in there. So, yep, y'all stay tuned and keep you guys updated once I get this rear one on. Alright you guys, well that was pretty quick. So the only thing I had to do as far as modifying this one was I just had to take both of the fittings out. And the rear one fits. So if I cap this side right here, then it'll just, I should have plenty of clearance right there if I just cap this side. So then all I got to do is worry about having a 90 fitting come out this way so I can come up here to the regulator. And I still got to get the fitting on that side, which it has that one there. So if I use that, then I can just get my line, I can swoop it up around here, somehow connect over here and into that. So I'm not really for sure how I'm going to do this yet. I might have to end up deleting the EGR, which I was looking yesterday at the block off plates, and ZZP is not selling them no more, but I found another company, someone posted on Facebook in the 3800 performance group, And they posted a screenshot and they want $59 for the two little plates. One that goes there and one that goes there. $59. But if I can get those, then I won't have to worry about the EGR, which with it, you know, I guess that's going to be better power and everything also when you delete the EGR. So maybe that's what I'm going to end up having to do. But right now I haven't ordered those yet. So I just don't have the money right now. So, but yeah, eventually I'm probably going to end up having to delete this. But, so now I just got to get fittings. And other than that, this fits really nice. So there's that one and there's that one down there. It's going to be hard to get to with the alternator right there to tighten that one down. So I might have to, probably have to pull the alternator back off. But not a big deal. So, but yeah, that's that right there. So now I guess I'm going to pull this fuel pressure regulator back off of here and just put my bolt back in there. So when I get the Aeromotive one, I can bolt it on. And then it's just going to be a bunch of fittings, and I got to get a couple of caps for the end. So it's going to be a little interesting and a little bit of bullshit trying to get everything for these rails. But so I've got these two end pieces that I just pulled out. Where'd that other one go? Oh, right there. Yeah, so this is the thread. So I figured if I could just take this fitting somewhere and just be like, hey, I need this, but I need it not as long right here. I just need a regular old 90. And I don't know, this one, that could work, I guess. I guess that one could work. It was just on the wrong end. So I don't know, maybe I can use this one for this side and be able to get it up here and get the other side up here. And then I'm just going to have my feed going, you know, from the actual fuel line. And I have that little adapter fitting. I think it's at the back of the car. But it'll plug directly into that, and then it's just a fitting like this. So I'm going to have to figure something out. But, I mean, so far, it's coming along decent. So, but yeah, I'll keep you guys updated as I make some more progress. So y'all stay tuned. Alright y'all, so I got the front one is on and mounted. I still have to get that block off for up the front. And then I've got the rear one on and mounted. And I've got to get the block off for the front of this one as well. But I was able to use this 90 that came with it. And it does clear the EGR. It's very close, but it clears. And I've got me a 90 degree 6A in fitting on there. And then on this side I have a 45 degree 6A in fitting. So that still needs to be tightened down all the way. And then on this end, on the hose, I actually have the end of this 45 degree fitting. I've got it all the way down into where it needs to be. So now it's just going to be screwing that down onto there, and that will set that fitting. And then I'll actually have to unravel this some, tape it up, cut it off to where it's going to be the right length to come over here. But before I even do that, I still need to figure out what exactly I'm doing, because I don't want to get this all set up and then cut that to go here whenever I really want it to go up here to the fuel pressure regulator. So I'm not 100% for sure what I want to do just yet as far as that. So I'm just going to have to hold off there, and that's pretty much as far as I can go on this for now. But I got a lot done. I got the harness off because I don't want to use that harness, and I got both the Aeromotive fuel rails mounted on the engine, and they're looking great. I cannot be happier with them. So, but yeah, this is my progress so far. So hopefully I'll get that Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator here in the next few days, along with the power steering lines and all the other stuff I ordered, the brake pads. Man, I've ordered a few other things too. I just can't remember exactly what all I've ordered. But yeah, I've got some other stuff coming too. Oh, the water pump pulley and the supercharger belt idler. Those two aluminum pulleys, billets. So yeah, I've got those coming. And then the fuel pressure regulator. So I guess the next thing I'm going to do is man, I don't know. I don't know if I want to, oh man. Hey, y'all, give me a minute. I gotta move all my stuff. All this water, snow's melting, all my tools are getting wet. Give me a minute. Alright, y'all, so I come back here and was clearing some stuff out back here, and ended up I went ahead and just threw these new headlight LED bulbs in on both of them, and they're in. These are what I got, stone banks, and they didn't even send me the fog light ones, so I'm gonna have to just reuse my old LED fog light bulbs. Then these are the wire harnesses for both of them, so I ended up getting both of these put on also, and they're pretty much ready to be plugged in. So I'm still gonna have to end up pulling the front bumper back off, so I'm not gonna bother with putting them in yet. But I did go ahead and put the bolts in on the front and rear just to kind of hold it in place, and hopefully it'll help that settle in a little bit right there. And got this side bolted in also. I need to get that one right there bolted in, but just trying to let this stuff settle a little bit. But man, overall I'm really happy with how it's fitting. I mean, it definitely has a little bit of some curling and stuff, and you know, like this, but I mean, I'm sure it's sat for a while. I didn't buy it brand spanking new. It is a brand spanking new bumper, but overall, it fits pretty well. I'm happy with it. So, yeah, I just kind of been trying to think of some shit to do, and I was moving this out, and then all this water started coming down and getting all, since all the water was getting all over my tools, so I decided to move everything. And then, oh man, it's getting on the welder. Yeah, I gotta move all this stuff, y'all. Alright, I'll come back to you guys. Hey guys, well look at this. So I pulled this out of the car and just set it over here, and it was already super dirty with fluid again, and I just power washed it right before I got over here. And I was looking, and if you look right here, it's cracked from all the way up here all the way down here. And like, I just sprayed it off with brake cleaner, and it's already seeping out of that crack again. And it's also got another crack right there. Oh, it's cracked all the way down on this side too. Damn. So this rack and pinion's no good. I can use the boots and the tie rods and the lines. I can use everything else. But the actual rack itself is junk unless I can have somebody weld that, which I'm not sure if it's even worth it. So, well, at least I found out. So it's a good thing I bought a brand spanking new one instead of just cleaning it up and putting it back on there, because it would have been a huge mess. As soon as I started it up, it would have been leaking again. So it's a good thing I did that. So no worries. I'm just gonna probably throw this in there to the side and just tuck it out of the way for now. And yeah, I was scooting the subframe forward because I'm trying to get the engine out, and because I want to use the cherry picker and pick up the transmission, and that way I can get the transmission off of that, and I can get that other transmission tucked back there or tucked back over on that side. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is I'm working on getting the engine out, but I've got to move the subframe forward, and it's kind of hard doing it by yourself with having it on 4 jack stands. So that's my only dilemma right now, is I'm just trying to get this thing moved forward so I can have some room to get the engine out. And yeah, so, and I'm also trying to clean out the car and get stuff out of the car also. So don't see anything in there I was looking for. Whole bunch of transmission speed sensors from the last time I was working on this same transmission, and I had it in the car and it was giving me issues. And come to find out, it was the damn plug all the time. I put it in a box. But yeah, the plug that plugs in on the transmission right there, the wires were both frayed. And so I guarantee they were probably touching while it was in the car. So I have another plug right here next to the transfer shift kit box. And this here is for that transmission speed sensor. Once the trans is bolted on, it'll plug in right around here somewhere. And yeah, I just have to cut that one off, and I'm just going to splice this one on and probably crimp it and electrical tape it. And then that way I don't have to worry about that. And yeah, and then I did I put the new bulbs in, and I came and set them up here and plugged them in, and I hooked the battery up. But because I have no harness in there, nothing works. But it's okay, no big deal. I guess right now I'm just going to keep working on moving this subframe forward so I can get this engine out of here, and then I'll work on moving this transmission. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright you guys, so I've got the subframe out there, got the engine out here, got the trans out there finally. And it's kind of a pain in the ass maneuvering it through here. But now I've got all this room right here, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the subframe off the jack stands. And I'm going to move the jack stands in here. And I'm going to set the subframe back. I'm going to set it in here on jack stands. And then I'm going to come set the transmission down with the 2 bolts going into the mount right there. And I'm going to use that 2x4 and set it like right here on this little lip, just to hold the trans up on that side. And then once I have the subframe in here and have the transmission set down, then I'm going to try to pull the engine off of the stand and go ahead and get the flex plate bolted on and Loctited and torqued down. And then that way I can go ahead and marry the engine and trans and get them both on there. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get this off of jack stands and get the jack stands in here and get the subframe in here, back on jack stands, and then I'll update you guys again before I get the trans set on. So y'all stay tuned. Alright you guys, so I've got the subframe in here. It's on jack stands. I got the trans set down in place. I got the mount on. And then I just got this side sitting underneath a couple of 2x4s on the edge of the pan. And there's a little piece of the trans that sticks off right there. So it's just kind of holding it up. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is I can go ahead and throw the axles in. That way it'll kind of hold the rotors and everything up and hold the knuckle up where they're supposed to be for the most part. And then I can go ahead and get the engine off the stand, get the flex plate on there and get it Loctited and torqued down. And then once I do that, I might even just hook up the jump box. And I've got this this power wire here and this starter relay wire. And I did this last week, and I forgot this engine didn't have a flex plate on it. But yeah, I connect this to the positive and then touch this to the positive, and I can just ground it out on the stand or on the engine somewhere. And I think I used this bolt on the AC compressor to ground it out. But I mean, it spun it right over, no problem. So once I get the flex plate on there and tighten down, then I can go ahead and crank it over with the starter and see how that compression sounds. Which, I mean, it feels great, but I want to hear it with the starter on there. Just starter cranking it over. But, man, I made a lot of progress on the engine today. I made a lot of progress in here today, just on everything. I did go ahead and just, like, set the headlights back up in here. Like I said, see, they're not all the way on there. But I did hook the battery up, and I turned the key on. And the only ones I could get to work were the brights. But I'm guessing just because I don't have any harness in here going to anything, then maybe that's why the low beams aren't working. Or, I don't know. I mean, the plugs could be on backwards. I didn't try turning it around. But that battery was pretty dead, so I'm just kind of letting it charge and trying to do some other stuff. So I think next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, I really think I want to get this engine off the stand before it gets too dark. Because with this sitting here, the stand's definitely not going to fit in here. So I've got to figure out something. And then I've still got to figure out what I'm going to do with the cherry picker also. But it's alright, I'm definitely making progress. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright you guys, so I got the engine off the stand. Stand's over there. I just got to get the piece for the stand off. It's just 418s. And then this is off, and then I'm just going to try to maneuver it up here and just kind of set it down into place and go from there. So y'all stay tuned and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, so I've got the engine and trans bolted together. Got both the mounts in place. So shoot, it's coming together very nice. Very, very nice. And this goes into here. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. It's really coming together. So now I just got to fold up the cherry picker. I might be able to fit it just like right there. Once I fold it up, and if I move these tools, I could probably fit it right here. And I could probably just wedge the stand back over there too. And then I'm going to have to put all this stuff back over there to the side. But man, I've made a shit ton of progress today. I'm very happy with the progress so far. So, like I said, I can't find the gasket for this. So, I just haven't done the rest of that Transgo shift kit yet. But I'm just not even going to worry about it for right now. Right now, I'm just glad that I've got this all together as much as I do. So now it's just going to be fuel lines and, you know, some little stuff. I still need to finish tightening that up. I'm probably going to actually have to pull the engine and trans back apart because I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get to that. Oh well. I said I might even just delete that, so maybe I can do that. But I'm really happy with the progress I made so far today. The brake pads did get delivered today, so the brake pads are at the house. One of the power steering lines should be delivered tomorrow, and then the other one's going to be delivered on Tuesday or Wednesday. So then I'll have both of the brand new power steering lines. I can get those connected to the rack and to the pump and run them how they're supposed to go. And then this will all pretty much all be brand new everything. And then I shouldn't have to worry about anything leaking or anything. Like the engine's been holding oil for a couple weeks or a month, and it hasn't dripped one drop out of the pan. So that's a good sign that this sensor here is good and isn't going to leak out of that, and nothing's been leaking out of the pan. So I mean, really, I couldn't be happier. It's got all new gaskets everywhere. I've RTV'd most of it. So I'm really happy with the progress. So y'all stay tuned, and I gotta get all this stuff put up and picked up and kind of wedge it all in here. And then I'll give you guys another update before I head on home for the night. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys. So I've got all three of my flex plate torque converter bolts in and tight. And so now I'm about to put the starter back in. Just two 15s. And then once I get the starter bolted back in, I'm going to grab the jump box. And I'm going to crank this thing over with the starter and see how she sounds. So y'all give me about 5 minutes. Let me get the starter in, and I'll grab the jump box, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright y'all, so I got my starter in. Yeah, like I said, just 2 bolts. Now I'm going to grab my jump box. Let's see where we at. We're on green. We're on full bars. Alright. So, I'm going to take the power. It's going to go right there. Take the ground. It's going to go We're gonna put ground. How about we put ground right there on that stud? That'll work. Alrighty. They go in the correct way. Well, it's definitely kicking it over. I'm hearing it. It doesn't sound like it's... Man, whenever I turn it over by hand, it's like super hard, but I guess that starter just being brand new, it's just no problem for it. But I'm happy with it. I at least hear the pop, 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 so... Let me do it again from this side. I'm happy everything's working, so... Alrighty guys, well, I really don't know how to feel about that, because I had the heads gone through at the machine shop, and I know the engine's good. I mean, I did everything to this one that I've already done to the previous one that was in here, and it was fine. So I know by the stuff that I did, cleaning it up and everything, it's not gonna hurt it any, because I already did it to the previous engine. So I don't know, I'm not really too sure how to feel about it. I mean, it sounds pretty good to me, so I guess next thing I'm going to be doing is whenever I get the power steering lines in, I'll come get the power steering lines on here, and I'll go ahead and get the axles in, and I ordered outer tie rods because the brand new rack didn't come with outer tie rods, so I ordered a brand new set of outer tie rods yesterday, so I can get those on here. So as soon as those come in, I'll get the new outer tie rods on and get that on and get the axles back in. And I mean, it's coming together. It should be ready to go back in the car here before too long. And then it's just going to be power washing all this and getting all this clean. And yeah, so I don't know, I guess I'm going to just finish picking up my stuff, and I got to get all this front end that goes under the front bumper. I'm going to stick both of those over there on the side next to the car, and probably pull all the tools out and put all the tools in here, so that way I don't have all the weight in my trunk. I'll just take the jack and my 4-way and maybe the DeWalt tools and a couple of sockets, just so if I do need to like change my tire or something, I at least have impact and a couple sockets. But yeah, I'm going to try to get this engine stand probably set like right in here, and get the cherry picker all put up, and it should slide right in here. And I'll probably just stack all the tools back there, and I'll try to come back over here tomorrow after I get off of work and get some more stuff done. Probably bring the brake pads, and I'll come put the brake pads on tomorrow, and can't really stick the calipers on, so I don't know, I might not even do that yet. But made a lot of progress today, guys, so y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated as soon as I can make some more progress on it, so stay tuned. Alright you guys, so I ran over to the Grand Am storage, and I found the other two fuel pump assemblies that I had. They were both in the trunk of the Grand Am. These are both out of Grand Prix. One of these was out of the smashed Grand Prix that I had. It was an 05 wide track. And then the other one was out of the silver 06 GT, but it was an NA. But this looks like it's an identical pump, and then that's just a breather. There's nothing on that. It doesn't go to anywhere. So that's kind of similar to how mine is. So I don't know, maybe I could just roll with this, but I know this was a good assembly, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the AEM pump back out of this brand new assembly and just put it into this one, But since I have to take that one back apart and take this bottom piece back off, I'll use the brand new bottom piece and the brand new sock and all that, just like it is in there, but it'll just be in this assembly. And then that way I won't have to worry about anything. And then I'll use the wiring off of this one for this, since it's all brand new wiring, and I've already wired on the wires from ZZP. And then I have this assembly in here. Yeah, I have this one in here, and it's exactly the same. Exactly the same. So, I don't know, I guess the brand new assembly I ordered, I guess they sent me the wrong one. I mean, it might work for the 07 Prix, but I don't know, this one is definitely a factory one. This one might have been a replacement. Looks like someone bought it at the salvage yard also. But either way, I'm going to use one of these two, and if anything, I'll test it out on the 06 Prix. I'll just get under the car and unplug the main plug, which I have in here, and then I can just plug those into this and plug that into the car, and then turn the key on and see if it turns on. And if it does, then I'll know everything's good to go, and go from there. So I think that's going to be it for tonight. Right now I'm just chilling, kind of letting this battery charge up. It's still charging, and then I got the car battery charging also. But yeah, I pretty much got everything in here, and that's why I just ran over to the Grand Dam storage just to get these, because I do want to mess with these, and because I want this to be right. Like, I want to send it, but I just don't want to have to do it again. And I mean, it almost looks like I could. This almost kind of looks like very similar to that. I could just leave it, but at the same time, I just don't want to chance it. So it is what it is. I'm gonna swap it around and go from there. So y'all stay tuned, and I keep you guys updated. Hey YouTube. Alright, so I've been back over at the house for a couple hours now, and I've been working on these pumps. This pump. So what I did was I took this back completely apart, pulled the AEM pump out. Finally, was trying to take both of these apart. I got this one to come apart, but the pump that's in there is completely different. I cannot get the AEM pump to go up in there because the sock is made completely different, and how it attaches just is completely different. And so I wasn't able to use the bigger, newer style pump. So what I did was, this is a fuel line that's actually part of the car that goes into the fuel rail. It's just one that I got from the salvage yard. So it's fuel line. And so I cut me a nice piece out of it to where it doesn't kink. And I got that tightened down. And then this little plastic hose crap, wherever it went. Oh, this. Yeah, so then this piece was the piece that came on this that connected that port to this port while it was in there like that. So I just cut a little piece off about that big and heated it up and stuck it on there. And then I heated up this end and just squeezed it with the pliers and pretty much melted it together and made a cap. So now the port is capped off. I've got my fuel line on and tightened down. So now all that's left to do is put it in the tank and install it in the car. And then of course also put on the level, fuel level deal and the float, and put the O-ring on whenever it gets fully assembled and actually goes in the tank in the car. So I made a little bit of progress on the pump today. I at least got that finished, and I made a lot of progress over at the storage today and was able to get the engine married up to the trans and get everything bolted onto the subframe. And I made a lot of progress today. I really could not be happier. And then I pulled up my my channel on YouTube, and I'm up to 110 subscribers. So thanks everyone that's subscribing. I really appreciate it, you guys. Like, really cannot be more excited about that. So, but yeah, like I said, next thing I gotta get done is I gotta get over there, and I'm gonna have to get 2 more jack stands or figure out something with that subframe. But I need to get the ass into the car jacked up and drop the tank down so I can cut my access panel. And I mean, there's already a indention in there, so I might even be able just to cut it out, but it's going to be super close. So I don't know, I might just drop the tank anyways. But that's going to be one other thing, I need to get that hole cut out for the easy access panel, so that way I can get this pump installed in the tank, get everything back installed, add my little cover door, and then that way this will at least be done and ready to go. So I don't know, it's probably not going to be tomorrow, it'll probably be this coming weekend, just so I have, you know, a few hours out there, like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours out there to actually work on it. But I'm still going to go by tomorrow. I did get the new brake pads in today, so I'm going to go by and at least probably just drop those off. I might do a little bit of stuff, but there's not really a whole lot over there I can really do right now, except clean the engine bay. But there's so much shit in the way right now, it's not even funny. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress I've made today. So I'm going to probably just throw these 2 pumps back in the back seat of my car or in the trunk of my car. And I'll definitely wrap this one back up and put it back in the box, and it'll go back in the back seat. But yeah, the pump is done. So, not bad. I'm happy with the progress. So, y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated tomorrow after I get off work. Hey guys. Well, today's a little different. So, it's Monday. And I don't know if you guys know, but I sold my white Chevy pickup so we could get a house like a couple months ago. And so today my girl got her $12,000 tax refund, and she just ignored me all day, went and got an apartment, and left me. After 4 months of, like, I've rebuilt her engine, bought her a new windshield, got her new wheels and tires, did her brakes, did her tie rods, got her an alignment. Like, man, I've given so much love to this girl and her daughter, which is my princess, man. That's like so much where I call her my daughter, and she's not even my daughter. She's not even my stepdaughter. But man, this is the 2nd time now that she's done this shit. And I guess I've learned my lesson, but man, dude, this fucking, I don't know, it kind of sucks because I feel it in here. But I guess it's going to give me a lot more time back at my storage and working on the cars. So it's very mixed feelings because I'm head over heels for this woman. And now she's gone again. And princess. I'm just at a loss, guys. This is worse than whenever I wrecked the Ranger with the dolly and the black 97 from Salem. Like, she straight up just tore my heart out, man. Well, on a new note, I got the brake pads in for the 07. Turns out both of the power steering lines are going to be here tomorrow, so that's good. And then I got the shifter boot for the Grand Am. I know you can't really see it very well, but got the shifter boot for the Grand Am. And I ordered some RAM and a hard drive for a laptop that I got. And I'm going to throw Windows 10 on it and sell it and make me a profit. So if anyone's looking for a laptop, $100. It's a nice Dell Latitude E5400. Nice computers. It's going to be running Windows 10 Professional 64-bit with 4 gig of RAM and a 320 gig hard drive. It's a remanufactured battery, but it's supposed to be like a brand new battery and also a brand new charger. And it's just going to be completely pulled apart, all cleaned out, which I've already done that. This one in particular had a bad screen. I had to put a new screen in it. And everything works. I didn't have the RAM and a hard drive for it. So I ordered extra RAM and hard drive on eBay for like $25. It was like $10 for the hard drive and like 14 or 15 for the 2 gig 6 of RAM. And I already had a new charger. They're like 11 or $12. So not bad. But yeah, so I got that stuff coming in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess probably tomorrow, whenever I get off work, I'll come home and I'll grab the power steering lines, and I'll probably go over to the storage and get the power steering lines all put on and get them on there how they're supposed to go and get them hooked up to the pump, since the engine and everything's already bolted on, and get them hooked up to the rack. And then I might go over I'll probably just go put the boot over at the Grand Am storage, and I'll probably just leave the brake pads because I can't put the calipers on to hold the pads in place, so just leave them in the box for now. I do want to drop the tank so I can cut out that access panel for the cover that I have, and go ahead and get the E85 pump installed in the tank and get that cut out so I can put the tank back up in there and not have to worry about throwing sparks on the fuel tank. And yeah, then that'll be done and ready to rock and roll. So I've made a lot of progress this last week since the snow started clearing out, since Saturday. So over the last 3 days, I've made a lot of progress. I'm pretty happy with how it's been going. I guess my relationship life just wasn't up to par, which I've been suspecting it for a couple weeks now. She's been acting different. But it's life. Shit happens. So it wasn't as such of a shock this time, because last time we were together for 4 years, and then I left and went to work one day. She said, bye, love you, see you when you get home. And I came home and they were gone and moved to Arkansas. And so, like, I was crushed then, and she was gone for 3 years, and then we just got in contact again 4 or 5 months ago, and that was that. And we got back together, and everything's been great. And now she got her money, and she dipped out again. So I definitely won't let it happen again. Will never be another chance. So I guess that's just life, you guys. You live, you learn, and you never forget. You forgive, but you never forget. And that's why I'm not as crushed. I mean, I'm still pretty upset with the whole ordeal, but it's not as bad as the last time she left. So, but yeah, that's going to be it for tonight, you guys. So I'll bring you guys another update soon. And right now I'm just waiting for parts to come in. So that's going to be it for this video. So like, comment, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Leave me a heart. Anything, man. Like, I need to bring my spirits up. So y'all have a good night, and I'll see you guys again soon.